Hello everyone, I am Fran Andres Padilla, the leader of Group 4 in BSA 3A. In this video, we will tackle two chapters which are Chapter 29, Accounting for Income Tax, and Chapter 30, Employee Benefits. We will be discussing one comprehensive problem per chapter for us to understand well about the certain illustrations under the topics that were assigned to us. Ms. Angeli Vasquez will discuss the comprehensive problem under Chapter 29, Accounting for Income Tax, and Ms. Jenny May Mercado will discuss the comprehensive problem under Chapter 30, Employee Benefits. So, what are you waiting for? Tara, let's dive into the world of income tax and employee benefits.
Hello everyone, I am Angeli Vasquez and I will be discussed for Chapter 29, Illustration of Comprehensive for Accounting for Income Tax.
Illustration for comprehensive problem. So we have here the Gabriel Company reported a pre-tax financial income of 2 million pesos for the year ending December 31, 2024. However, their tax return paints a slightly different picture due to following factors. Installment sales, 250,000 of installment sales revenue was recognized in financial income but not yet collected, so it wasn't included in taxable income. Rental income, the tax return reflected 40,000 more rental income than that what was reported in financial statements. Warranty expense was already recognized on the financial statements but not for tax purposes, creating a difference of 125 pesos. And for the depreciation expense for tax purposes was 85,000 higher than the expense reported on the financial statement. So required, determine the following: 1. Financial income subject to tax. 2. Taxable income. 3. Income tax current. 4. Deferred tax asset. 5. Deferred tax liability and income tax expense. So for the solutions of requirements number 1 and 2, we have financial income. It's 2 million. Add or deduct the permanent differences. Add non-deductible expenses, 10,000. Then less non-taxable revenues, 150,000. Total of 1,860,000. Atong financial income subject to tax. Then add deduct temporary differences. Add increase in future deductible amount, 165,000. Then less na to increase in future taxable amount, which is 335,000. Total amount of 1,690,000 pesos taxable amount. Analysis. Temporary differences. Installment sales, this creates a future taxable amount of 250,000 because the revenue will be taxed when it's collected in future period. Rental income, this creates a future deductible amount of 40,000 because the extra income reported on the tax return will be deductible in the future. Warranty expense, this creates an FDA of 125,000 because the expense will be deductible for tax purposes when it's actually paid in the future. Depreciation expense, this creates an FDA of 85,000 because the higher depreciation expense for tax purposes will result in a lower taxable income in the future. The solution for requirements number 3, calculating tax expense. The income tax expense includes the current tax expense based on the current year's taxable income as well as the change in deferred tax asset and liabilities. So, calculating tax expense equals taxable income times current tax rate. Ang taxable income is 1,690,000 times 30% is equal to 507,000. Requirements number 4, deferred tax asset. The FDA items, mao ni ang rental income and warranty expense, result in deferred tax asset because they will lead to a lower taxable income in the future. We calculate the DTA by multiplying the total of FDA by the future tax rate, 30%. So 165,000 times 30% is equal to 49,500. So for solution requirements number 5, deferred tax liabilities, the FTA items, installment sales, and depreciation expense results and DTL because they will lead to a higher taxable income in the future. We calculate the deferred tax liability by multiplying the total FTA by the future tax rate. So, 335,000 mauna ang FTA gitime sa 30% sa future tax rate is equal to 100,500. For the last solutions for requirements number 6, calculating tax expense, the income tax expense include the current tax expense based on the current year's taxable income as well as the change in deferred tax asset and liabilities. So, calculating tax expense equals taxable income times current tax rate. So, 1,690,000 times 30% is equal to 507,000. Income tax expense equals calculating tax expense plus increase and DTL, increase and DTA. So, income tax expense equals 507,000 plus 500 minus 49,500 is equal to 558,000.
Now, let's proceed to the another topic, which is all about employee benefits. Here we have a comprehensive problem for further understand the topic. But first, let me share to you some key concepts that could be used in our problem. We have here defined benefit obligation or DBO. This represents the company's commitment to future pension payments to employees, essentially its present value of all those future payments. Fair value of plan assets, FVPA. This is the market value of the assets invested in the pension fund like stocks and bonds. Net defined benefit liability or asset. This is the difference between the DBO and the fair value of plan assets. If the DBO exceeds the fair value of plan assets, there's a liability. If the fair value plan asset is greater, there is an asset. Now, let's proceed to our problem. On January 1, 2021, Villar Company has the following data relating to its defined benefit plans. As you can see here, you can see the different data of Villar Company. And this is the required computation that we should have to solve. First, how much is the fair value of plan assets as of December 31, 2021? Then second, how much is the defined benefit obligation as of December 31, 2021? The third one, how much is the net interest expense or income, profit and loss during 2021? Question number 4, how much is the defined benefit cost to be recognized in the profit or loss in 2021? Then question number 5, how much is the defined benefit cost to be recognized in other comprehensive income in 2021? So karon mag-discuss na ta or mag-compute na ta sa mga requirements. Sa requirement number 1, ato pangitawon ang fair value of plan assets as of December 31, 2021. To compute this, we have to gather the data of the beginning balance, then which is the 1 million, then actual return 300,000, contribution 550,000, benefits paid 200,000. To have the balance, ending balance fair value of plan assets, ato lang nang i-add ning tulo kung beginning balance ko to sa contribution, then aton i-deduct ang benefits paid. So we come up with the answer nga 1,650,000. Proceed sa itong second requirement, which is the ending balance sa defined benefit obligation as of December 31, 2021. So mag-gather na po ta sa data nga related sa DBO. Beginning balance, which is 1,200,000, makita na to dire, mo rin siya beginning balance. Then sunod ang benefits paid, which is the 200,000, current service cost 700,000, past service cost 500,000, actuarial loss 100,000. Then to compute the interest cost, we just have to multiply the discount rate. We have here the discount rate of 10%. So ang interest cost, beginning balance, which is the 1,200,000 times 10%, we come up with 120,000. So kung mag-complete man sa defined benefit obligation, so ato na silang i-add tanan. So we come up with the ending balance of 2,420,000. Now let's proceed sa requirement number 3. Gipangita sa requirement number 3 ang net interest expense or income, profit or loss during 2021. So mag-gather na po ta sa mga data. Ang atong mga data nga gamiton mo to ang fair value of plans asset, the beginning balance which is 1 million, atong lesson sa DBO, ang beginning balance po nga 1,200,000. Then ato silang atong gimayno sa DBO sa fair value na atay deficit nga 200,000. Deficit siya kay dako man ang DBO kaysa sa fair value of plans asset. So ang deficit need ini ang net deficit benefit liability na 200,000 ato siya i-multiply sa discount rate na to, which is the 10%. We have the interest expense rate profit and loss 20,000. To compute the requirement number 4, which is the benefit cost, profit and loss, we also have the gallery data of katong atong current service cost, this one, the past service cost, this one also, the interest expense sa DBO, katong 1,200,000 times sa 10% mao to nga naatay interest expense nga 120,000. Then manana ang kani siya i-add na nato ni silang tulo, we have the benefit cost of 1,320,000. Aron makuha pa ang expense ato si Jang minusan sa increase in DBO, which is the 100,000. Mao nga tong benefit expense equals to 1,220,000. Then let's proceed to requirement number 5, which is the other comprehensive income benefit cost, define benefit cost. First, ato sang kuno ng data sa interest income on fair value plan assets. Then lesson ato sa actual return on plans assets 300,000. So, ang 100,000 minus sa 300,000 na tayo measurement gain on plan assets, which is 200,000. Then atong minusan sa increase in DBO actuarial loss, maong natay net measuring gain sa other comprehensive income nga 100,000. Kaning atong problem, which is the failure company, nag-focus ni siya sa net defined benefit liability. So aron makuha na to ni mag journal entry ta as of December 31, 2021. So here we debited the employee benefits expense, profit or loss nga 1,220,000. Then we credited the net defined benefit liability, which is the 570,000, cash 550,000, remeasurement gain on other comprehensive income, which is 100,000. Then mga compute ang surplus of deficit, kani mga data man atong mga kinahanglanon, fair value of plans asset o ang DPO sa beginning o ang ending, which is pagka January 1 o December 31. Ang sa fair value asset, ang makita nato sa data dire nga puro sila deficit tungod kay ang mas dako ang DPO kaysa sa fair value of plan assets. Then to reconcile, to come up with the net defined benefit liability ending, muna tong atong i-minus ang beginning sa both kaning fair value of plans asset of DBO. We have the total of 200,000. Then atong add sa adjustment nga 570,000. So we have the final which is the end balance sa net defined benefit liability nga 770,000. Okay, that's all. Thank you. Hope nga nakasabot mo sa atong problem.